Welcome, folks, to the second episode of Starfleet Simplified. I'm Michael Schockman. I'll be your host and commentator. And in today's episode, we will be covering the stepping stone class of ship between the venerable Excelsior class of the Enterprise B and the overwhelmingly powerful and beloved Galaxy class of the Enterprise D. In today's episode, we will be covering the Ambassador class exploratory cruiser. The Ambassador class, simply put, is like I said, like was stated earlier, is a evolutionary step implementing a lot of the more 24th century technological upgrades and advancements in order to make a upgrade on the venerable and aging Excelsior class. However, being exceedingly small and nimble, and having a much smaller crew capacity and armament payload, it turns out that it was actually a somewhat under-equipped class. Having been launched in the early or in the mid 24th century, this class of ship is the perfect go-between between the Excelsior and the Galaxy. As for the specifications of the Ambassador class, ladies and gentlemen, today it is a Explorer type. Its production base is the ASDB integration facility in San Francisco, in the San Francisco Fleet Yards on Earth. Its dimensions are: it is 526 meters long by 320 meters wide by 125 meters tall. At its tallest point, so it is considerably smaller, almost by half. It's almost half the. It's just about half the size of a Galaxy class starship. Its mass is exactly 3,710,000 metric tons, or roughly, let's see here, roughly 7.2 billion pounds, which is considerably smaller than the Galaxy class, even in its base form. It can accommodate up to 700 officer and crew. Is not equipped to house any kind of additional personnel, and also has a considerably smaller personal evacuation limit of 10,000 people in times of emergency. Its power plant is one 1,500 plus Cochrane warp core feeding into two LF-10 modded Mod 1 advanced linear warp drive units. So it's a bit of a step behind from the Galaxy class. And it also only has one Fig-3 subatomic unified energy impulse unit. So it goes considerably slower at sub-warp speeds. And as it can hold warp 9 for up to 18 hours. That 18 hours is in quotes, so I'm assuming that that's kind of an interesting little thing there. Maybe not set in stone, but it can go up to a maximum of warp 9. And as for its armament, it has 10 Type 9 phaser emitters and 2 Mark 75 photon torpedo launchers. So it is considerably less well armed than the Galaxy class, and even in some cases than the Excelsior class, which is in its later refits, which is quite interesting. You don't see as many Ambassador class ships as you do Excelsiors, even in the Dominion War era, which is quite interesting. As for my personal feelings on the Ambassador class, ladies and gentlemen, I've only ever seen one instance of this ship in Trek fiction or in Trek canon, and that was the episode. I don't remember what the name of the episode was, but it's essentially the one where Picard and the Enterprise D get time shifted into a alternate dimension where the Battle of Kittimer essentially is not is not the outcome of the Battle of Kittimer changes, and the Federation is losing a war in this alternate dimension against the Imperial Klingon Empire, and the that is because the Enterprise C did not sacrifice itself to be able to make things happen the way that they were. It just so happens that Tasha Yar, who was a kind of a multi-dimensional kind of figure and everything like that, due to in story and canon reasons, she was multi-dimensional, but in reality, in real world stuff, it was because of contractual issues with the actress. Um, that kind of fed into later events that revolved around the Romulans, which is quite interesting. Um, as for like I said, as for my personal feelings, um, I like the look of it. I think it looks pretty nice. I can definitely tell that the J.J. Abrams uh, Starship Enterprise in his version, at least in terms of the hull, the main secondary hull, was widely taken. What at least it looks like it might have been an influence on his design of the old 23rd century his redo of the 23rd century Enterprise, which was quite interesting. But can't say that for certain. Would I pick a an Ambassador class over a Galaxy class or even an Excelsior class? Probably not, mainly because I don't have as much familiarity with it. It's good enough, but it's also just kind of meh. Um, take it or leave it, take it as you will. It's not really my cup of tea, but hey, it's good for somebody. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to about do it for today's episode. Hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, please be sure to like the video, stay tuned for the outro, and stay tuned for next week when we cover the Enterprise B class of ship, that being the Excelsior class. Um, I did find out after looking at the Starfleet Starbase 118 series of things that they do not have a download or down low on the Constitution class. So I'm going to have to, if I want to make one of those, which I probably will, I'm going to have to use a different source for that. So stay tuned for that, probably in the following week. And then we will be finishing off this first season on the various forms of the Enterprise. Probably, I'm not sure if we're going to go with finish it off with the Sovereign, or if we're going to finish it off with the OG, that being the NX-01. We'll have to wait and see. But we'll stay tuned for any news on that. Anyway, folks, I'm Michael Shockman. I've been your host and commentator. Stay tuned for next week when we cover the Excelsior class. And until next time, bye-bye for now. Thank you so much for joining me on this adventure, folks. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Also, be sure to ring the bell icon so you never miss an episode. Lastly, if you liked my work and you want to help support my channels, you can now do so on Patreon, where for as little as $4 a month, you get access to a load of cool content and much more. Thanks so much, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Michael Shockman, and until next time, remember, keep it real, keep it safe, keep it healthy, and we will see you guys again soon in the next one. Peace off, everybody.